This is my 28th video since getting my cancer diagnosis, and this is another Q&A video. I asked for questions and I got 3 questions. One question from Mark was about my thoughts on the hacker community. I'll do that as a separate video because there's a lot to say. And then the 2 other questions, Rowena asked about my scan, which I'll have soon, so I'll talk about that and what that may show. And Arca asked about clinical trials, so I'll explain a bit about those as well. So first of all, my scan will be in about 2 weeks' time, and it will be a CT scan, which means it's a scan that looks for lumps in the body. This is looking for where the cancer spread to, really. The CT scan can only find things that are at least a centimetre big. So if the CT scan finds any other lump, that's extremely bad news, because it means there's a centimetre is quite a big cancer already. So it means there's a big another big cancer somewhere. Really, the scan could show sort of in a sense 5 different things. So it may show the cancer spread, it may show it's growing, it could show it's growing quickly. If it's growing more than 25% since I started treatment, then the doctors will probably change my chemotherapy regime. If it's growing less than 25%, then I'll continue with the treatment I'm getting. It could be static, which would be fantastic news. I'm really hoping, obviously, it will be static, which means it basically isn't spreading and isn't really growing much, isn't growing noticeably. That would be fantastic. And the best possible news would be the cancer actually shrinking a little bit. I've been warned that's quite unlikely, but there's still a chance. Particularly as I've been having immunotherapy. I've had 2 doses of 2 different kinds of immunotherapy so far. So I've had one where they take your cells and strengthen them and put them back in your body, and those cells hopefully take the cancer and they get used up. And another type of immunotherapy is a vaccine that teaches my body to attack the cancer. Unfortunately for the vaccine, there wasn't a sample of my tumour, so the vaccine won't work or has less chance of working as it otherwise might have done. And obviously these things are very low chance of working anyway. All the immunotherapy is low chance, but it's a possibility. And I've been having hypothermia therapy as well, so maybe that's helped a bit, because that's been shown to make chemotherapy a bit more effective, and it also has some action on its own as well. So yeah, the scan, basically the best possible news would be shrinking, and then I'd have more chemotherapy, and then hopefully another scan would show it was shrinking, and then I'd have a different type of scan to see if surgery would be an option. So I'd have a scan called an MRI scan, magnetic resonance imaging scan, on my liver, which is a very high resolution scan, and that would see very in a lot of detail where exactly the 5 tumours are in my liver and what sizes they are, and would it be possible to do surgery to remove the part of the liver with the cancer in. Because the cancer spread to my lymph nodes, but particularly because it spread to the peritoneum, which is this membrane covering the abdomen, the only way that can be checked, because the cancers in there are less than a centimetre, they won't show up on the scans, it's basically visually looking. So a surgeon will do a procedure called a laparoscopy, which is basically doing keyhole surgery but without doing any surgery. So they'll make some holes in your abdomen, and they'll put a camera in one and a pipe with gas in the other to inflate the abdomen a bit so we can move the camera around, and we'll visually look and inspect for cancers. A surgeon can generally, in open surgery, I think surgeons can see things that are 2.5 millimeters or bigger. Although I'm hoping with some technology that's going to improve very soon with maybe robotic assisted surgery, with using a big screen and this kind of thing. So that's the scan. So next I'll talk about clinical trials. It's hard for me to find clinical trials in Japan because I can't find any English language database that has them, and in fact we haven't even found a Japanese language database that has them yet. So if you are a Japanese speaker and could find me a trial database that I could search online, please let me know. That would help a lot. The way clinical trials work is there's usually 3 phases. The ones I'd really be looking at are phase 3 trials if possible, although I'd be open to any trial. Phase 1 trial is really to see if a medicine is safe, and to see if it has effect as well, seems to have an effect as well. Phase 2 trial is to look at how a proven the medicine that's proven to be safe can be used a bit more widely, and what kind of results you get with it, maybe what the exact dose should be. And then the phase 3 trials usually compare a medicine with the best possible current treatment to see if it's worth doing or not, because of course you could have lots of medicines that work in phase 1 and phase 2 trials but are no better than the current best practice. So phase 3 trials are the really good ones because you're comparing current best practice with the latest drug really. So if I had a chance to join a phase 3 trial, I'd strongly consider it. There are issues though, because if it wasn't an immunotherapy trial, so if it was a chemotherapy trial or something else, that would be an issue, because being in a clinical trial, I'd almost certainly be asked to stop my other treatments, which means the immunotherapy and the hypothermia therapy. And that would be something I'd probably be unwilling to do, although it depends on the scan results for the next couple of scans, or at least the next scan I'm having rather. So I'd have to think very carefully about that. If you do come across any clinical trials, let me know. I can only do them in Japan. I can't travel outside of Japan to join a trial, unfortunately, because it would be too much for me, really, and I need to be here with my family and getting the care, the high quality of care here. But if you do hear of any trial happening in Japan for stage 4 bowel cancer, so that's terminal bowel cancer, that would, just please let me know. That would help a lot. But I always ask the oncologists here, so the cancer doctors, and when I visit new hospitals, I always say, are you doing any trials? So far the answer has always been no, we don't know of any trials happening at the moment, and we don't know of any good way to look for them except look online. So I'm still looking, and if there is a good one for stage 4 bowel cancer, I'd definitely consider it. If it was an immunotherapy trial, I'd very, very strongly consider it. I'd have to stop my current immunotherapy, but the great thing about clinical trials is they're free. They're paid for by either the drug companies, or in Japan they're often paid for by the institute doing them. So that would be really great. And then, so the immunotherapy fund has reached £30,000. I've spent half of that already on immunotherapy. So it costs about £15,000 for 6 treatments of immunotherapy, which is one cycle, and I've paid for the first cycle with the money you've already given, so I'm incredibly grateful for that. I've had 2 of those treatments, I've got 4 more left, and then there'll be another £15,000 for another 6 treatments, one cycle, which is just incredible, really. I can't really thank you enough, and just please go and look at the fundraising page, which is www.matthewdons.org. There was a sort of computer culture tech event yesterday, so I'm filming this on Sunday the 2nd of October, the day before my birthday. There was an event yesterday in Cambridge, and they did a collection for me, and that raised £213, which is really good, and very, very kind of the organisers, Carl and Dan, to even consider raising money for a stranger at an event they had planned. Really, really incredible. So thanks guys for that. And yep, more videos to come soon. This is the 28th, and I'm going to keep doing them as long as I can. As you can see, that the skin rash is only just starting to really kick in. It's not painful yet. It's painful around the nose, but not painful on the face yet, so that's good, and hopefully I'll have a couple more days before it gets really bad. Okay, thanks for watching. Goodbye.